King George the First lineage goes back to the Tuscan rulers. So he's a white man. King George the First, Second, and Third, they were white men. And I'm going to give you the actual factuals on what they did. Okay? Get this nonsense, man. I'm going to give you the actual factuals on what they did. But, you know, the Habsburgs, their family line goes back to some guy named the Merchant of Venice, who himself, his father was a Jew. Okay, when the Hungarians, the black Hungarians, found out that this guy was a Khazar Jew, they kicked his ass the hell out of power, sent his ass back to the Jewish quarter of Italy, which was Venice. And not really Venice, like a little bit south of Venice. His son was the Merchant of Venice. The Merchant of Venice, his whole family line goes back to the Habsburg kings. Okay, the Habsburgs end up taking over Germany. And that's during a time where the white man was in rulership anyway. And those Habsburg kings probably looked like Negroes, but they were tares. They were tares. Because, you know, there's always going to be white people that are in the upper echelons of black society, whether they're on the bottom or the top. In the Habsburg case, they were on top. And Khazar Jews married into the black royal families. That's where David like gets that black nobility story from, but it, you know, it's half true. You know, the Habsburgs is a prime example of Khazar Jews marrying into the upper echelons of power, because these Khazar Jews look like Negroes, but they go back to Khazaria, the fallen empire of Khazaria, 960 AD. Okay. The King of Hungary, and this guy was this King of Hungary was really, he was really a Jewish Venetian in the first place. Okay, he was a Jewish Venetian in the first place, and he had won a war and took over Hungary for a short while. Then they got wind of his Jewish Venetian heritage, kicked his ass out. His son became the Merchant of Venice. The Merchant of Venice's male line goes all the way up to the Habsburg kings of Germany. And the Habsburg kings of Germany end up sitting on the throne of Spain. So King Charles I was a Habsburg demon, Khazar Jew. This is why he didn't do anything when the black man was catching pure hell in America, or in Almaraca, or in the fraud of Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, he was a Habsburg Khazar Tam, meaning he looked like a Negro, but he was not our people. Didn't act like our people. Didn't consider ourselves to be a part of our people. And you know, you could say he was probably a black man with a calcified pineal gland and the same amount of neuromelanin that a white man has. Basically, a beast inside and godlike outside. Because here the pictures of Charles, you see he has a woolly hair, but you could tell in his eyes there's something not quite right about him. This man was not our people. He was a tear, because the Habsburgs were continuously mixing with the black race, but they were behaving like Jews. And they were incest, and they were diseased. They had conditions because of incest. Leopold the First, to name a few, who had the jaw and he couldn't even eat properly and everything because of the incest. And Jews are notorious for incest, having sex with their brothers and sisters and fathers, and all this wickedness, all this nastiness. That's Jewishness. Some dudes get with their cousins once in a while, but these people, man, there's no limit, man. Uncles marrying nieces is ridiculous. It's against the law. How the fuck you gonna marry a niece? It's like marrying your daughter. Ugh. And the Rothschilds are on record for doing that, who are the most powerful Jewish family. All right? And the Rothschilds is a young family, so their history is modern history. So you can't say, oh, it was that long ago. No, it was like 100 years ago. 2 generations, nigga. All right. Truth about Christianity. We're done with Genesis. Just going to just read you off a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then we're going to get into the segment of Illuminati wickedness and basically the end of the world, New World Order, the mark of the beast. They're going to ram a chip up your ass. All right. Basically, I'm going to read you some stuff off of the book of Genesis. All right. New World Order. You know what I mean? I'm just going to get into Illuminati wickedness, New World Order, mark of the beast. They're going to ram a chip up your ass, martial law, World War III. Okay. This is not really my frequency to deal with this subject matter. You know, I'm really a historian. You know, I'm going to just read you off some stuff from the book of Genesis. And I'm just going to go in, man. I'm just going to go in. While we're here, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let all you people know that I haven't really went off yet. And that's okay. Because this video isn't about me going off. It's about me teaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read the whole chapter of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 11. And I'm going to just break that down for you real quick. And then we're going to go into the New World Order, end of the world, World War III. First of all, white boy, you got to go. You're going into slavery. You're a piece of shit. You're the devil. Okay? You lied about everything. You lied about fucking everything. Fuck all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Revelation 13 and 9. My favorite scripture in the whole goddamn world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. I love reading this stuff. When GMS read this shit, you know what I'm saying? It's great. When We Got Next reads it, it's alright. That's it. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And usually when I read these scriptures, I kind of skip words and reword them, but I'm going to read this exactly verbatim. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Let's read it again. Let's start from 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the world. So everybody's going to worship him, even the other nations. And I'm going to break down what the other nations are. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the faith, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. They killed a 68-year-old man last year. The family's going to sue for millions. They called him a nigger and they electrocuted him. 68-year-old man. Now, of course, he was a Vietnam veteran. He deserved it, but still, you know, to who can you get to pay or coerce or get somebody to do something like that to an old man? An old man jumped on this old man like he was Superman and you was a villain or something. I mean, you white people, man, you are like a swarm of piranha, man. You people are not even funny. And the worst part about it is a demonic, satanic black woman just follows after you because you have money. This world is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Okay. So God regretted that he made men. You know, people were living for 1,000 years and just, you know, were super intelligent, were super strong. I figured that I figured that maybe the reason why God killed mostly everybody was to produce a new kind of man. You know what I'm saying? And in producing this new kind of man, he will have more control over these men and have more control over what happens, because these men were really not even men. They, angels walked among them. They knew everything. It was just different, you know. So we'll get the answers to that life in that world later.